So Jaquan,
Yes.
what were the 80s like when you were around?
Very fun, very colorful. I skated around a lot, you know, my four wheels, just rollerblades. I had my leg warmers on. I thought that was a sick fashion, you know, back then when you could just rock bright pink leg warmers and still maintain your masculinity. You know, 80s were 80s were cool.
What were the 80s like when you were around?
In the 80s, well, of course, who was the president in the 80s? Was
Reagan.
it Reagan? Oh, yeah. But that was a time of trickle-down economics. Of course, didn't trickle all the way down to me, but, you know, it was a noble idea. I lived, of course, in a very small town, and I wasn't involved in the major social trends of the 80s, like disco and see, we probably were invading some other country and increasing our gasoline usage, but we've been doing that all the time. Let's see, it might have been about the beginning of rap back in the 80s. That was, of course, a big phenomenon. Of course, I'm not a very good rapper.
We know Neon just came out too. Neon Lights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was
Yeah,
a big
I
thing.
actually forgot most of what happened in the 80s. I think I was busy. Let's see. Oh yeah, because that guy over there, my son, he was just graduating high school in '89. And then your older brother was just getting born in '89. So it was a busy time. I think I was, oh, I remember now. Yeah, I was trying to get a better job, but I never did. So I just kept working at other jobs. It was okay, you know, we always had enough to eat.
Sweet.
I kicked Pepsis. So it was, all in all, it was a pretty good time. It was way before I started studying the teachings of Buddha, though, so I was still lost in space in terms of spirituality, but it all turned out well. I found my book about Buddha, and now I've been reading about Buddha. And
Sweet.
trying to cultivate boundless compassion for all my fellow sentient beings. That'd be you guys and just about everyone else, even the trees.
Well, thank you, Bianca.
Oh.
Panama, I was 6 years old when we started talking about the 80s. And I'm talking in English. Okay, can I switch to Spanish?
Yeah, go for it.
And, okay, I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about it in Spanish. So, en Panamá, en los principios del 80, se jugaba muchos juegos caseros como la rayuela, la ligallina y todo esto. En cuanto a peinados, los cortes eran bien frondosos, así diferentes. Los vestidos, bueno, estaba chica, así que no había mucha diferencia, ¿no? Se vestían como los niños se visten allá. Pero lo único que puedo mencionar un poquito más en profundidad es para los finales del 80, el 89, fue cuando fue la invasión de Estados Unidos a Panamá.
Okay. So Andre, what were the 80s like?
Yes. Well, the 80s back in my day, we did a lot of things. You know, a lot of things. A lot of bright colors, you know, leg warmers. Yeah. Yeah,
What was social life like?
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Social life.
Or maybe fashion,
Yeah.
music.
Gosh. You know, fashion, I didn't really pay attention to it, but a lot of bright colors.
Yeah.
And jeans are probably way too tight, I think. It's been a while, so like I said, I didn't pay attention. And you said, what was the other part you asked about fashion and social life?
What were the people like?
What were the people like? Well, In high school, I played sports mostly, so I was not typical. You know, people, again, I mean, what you wore was important. I remember a lot of the athletes that I used to hang around, they all wore the same shoes. Like, they all wore high-top sneakers. Like, Michael Jordan was very popular, so I think everyone was wearing the first generation of Jordans.
Awesome.
You know, what else? Hairstyles were different. I remember my sophomore year, the entire basketball team got flat tops except for me. But most part, their hair was kind of longish, but not that long, you know. And again, it was depending on what group you were into.
What were the 80s like when you were around?
They were awesome. I loved them. Yeah, there's a lot of hairspray, a lot of bright colors. I killed a lot of bitches. I vaporized some important bitches in the 80s. Yeah.